Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Power. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up. Ex-con charged with capital murder. Enough said. Let's get to it. How about that?
Bond, a 34-year-old ex-con, fails to appear in court after being freed from jail on 3 felony bonds. 4 days later, he's charged with capital murder in yesterday's home invasion killing of a 72-year-old woman. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live downtown with the latest on his ongoing series. Randy, another disturbing case here.
Yeah, Caroline, no doubt. Now, higher bond amounts for the three-time ex-con or revoking his parole for committing a new crime. Those are two options that may have saved an elderly woman's life. Richard Mouton has a lengthy criminal history.
Yeah, Randy, he's been in prison not once, not twice, but 3 times.
He was on parole in 2023 and picked up a new crime.
Yeah, it's always disturbing, Randy, that you could be on parole, you could get a conviction, and I'm talking it's a felony conviction, it's a felony evading arrest, and still be on parole and not have your parole revoked.
The parole board's decision to give Richard Mouton a big break may have cost a 72-year-old woman her life. Police say on Monday, Mouton and his alleged accomplice, Tijuana Thomas, shot and killed the elderly woman during a home invasion at 4018 Lockwood Drive.
And she exchanged gunfire with suspects. She struck both suspects, and they were both transported to the local area hospital.
4 days before he allegedly committed capital murder, he failed to show up in court.
Yeah, so he was charged with 3 felonies in July. So he gets out on bonds totaling $70,000 on the 3 felonies. And on January 22nd, he ain't in court. He's not there. So they issue a bond forfeiture warrant January 22nd. 4 days later, he's allegedly invaded a home with a co-defendant and is now charged with capital murder of a 72-year-old woman.
Now, Mouton and his alleged accomplice, who were both shot by the 72-year-old woman, remain in the hospital, and both are now charged with capital murder. Reporting live at the courthouse, Randy.
Alright, now y'all heard that, right? Let's bag this shit up. How about that? Right here.
Life. Richard Mouton.
This guy right here. This will be on today. How about that? Alright. Now, what you guys say about this, Mr. Roll Up? Alright. This is gonna be a tough pill to swallow, man. But I gotta keep it real with y'all. I did my 4 years in prison, so I know how this go, right? The system do not care about your time. I done said this before. The system don't care about how much time you got. Why is that, Mr. Roll Up? Because 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna run into you in the world. You know what I'm saying? They don't care how much time you get. They going home to their families. They gonna eat good and they gonna live their life. They not thinking about you. So they don't care about how much time you got. What they care about is your conviction. You know what I'm saying? And this is a clear-cut example of that. I didn't spoke on this multiple times. The system don't care about your time. They don't care if you get life or if you get out tomorrow. They don't care. They only care about your guilty conviction. And this is a prime example of that. This guy done been in prison 3 times. As y'all can see, let's zoom in a little closer, just for clarification. You can see this guy ain't no older than 30 to 40 years old. 45 years old tops. You know what I'm saying? And he done been in prison 3 years. What does that tell you? He done spent damn near half his life in the joint. So what do that mean? I know I done told y'all before, don't nobody like going to jail, but I lied. How about that? You do got people that like going to jail. And this guy right here, he is one of them. Now, why is that, Mr. Roll Up? Well, to be honest, some of these guys, they can't function out here in the world. They can't. So they got to get locked up. And then they get locked up for so much time and they get used to being controlled and, not having to pay no bills, having a bed to lay in, having 3 hot meals a day. You know what I'm saying? They get used to that shit. It's called institutionalized. And that's what happened right here. He got institutionalized. That's why he been in prison 3 times. You like shit. Prison free. For me, all I gotta do is commit a crime, go in there, I'm gonna have a bed, and I'm gonna have 3 meals a day. Some of these guys think like that. It's sad to say, but that's the truth. So would the parole board keep letting them out? Why is the parole board letting them out, Mr. Roller? Hey, look, I'm gonna put it like this, right? The parole board gotta let out so many people. You know what I'm saying? They can't just keep everybody locked up. They gotta let out so many people. He was one of them guys that they let out multiple times. Never revoked his parole or none of that. This does happen a lot. But I also show y'all parole reactions so that y'all know that everybody don't get out. It's some that do, and it's a lot that don't. You know what I'm saying? He one of them ones that did get out. And this is what he did with his time. He went out to commit more crimes. He was already out waiting on his next court date for his next crime. That was because he crashed out. He don't give a fuck. And that's why he went on a home invasion while he was on parole and everything. He went on a home invasion and ended up running up in this elderly woman house and killed her. Why did he have to kill an elderly woman? Let's be for real. He didn't. That's just the dog in him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's just the dog in him. And he killed this woman. He said, "Fuck it, I don't care. It is what it is." And now he about to go back to prison for the rest of his life. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it take a motherfucker 2 or 3 times to bump their head before they get knocked with a lot of time. I done been in prison with a lot of guys like this. They had to go through prison 3 or 4 times before it was just a wrap for them. Everybody don't do the rest of their life on the first time they get caught up on some shit. You got guys like him that been in prison 3 or 4 times before it was finally a wrap. It's how the system work, man. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what's the lesson here, Mr. Roller? Let's do that, right? All right, the lesson I'm gonna give y'all out of this. What I tell y'all before, stay out of prison because you don't know what type of person you're gonna run into while you in there. You might run into a guy like this that's institutionalized and that's set in his ways. And if you don't go with what he say, he might just end up fucking you over. How about that? Now, before I wrap this up, let me speak on this capital murder that he got, right? Y'all know what capital murder is. No, I did not look up the definition. No, I did not have to hear nobody tell me what a capital murder is. And yes, I might not be 100% correct, but I'm going to give y'all what I know, right? A capital murder meaning death penalty. That means we done with you. The system not playing with you no more. It's over with. Capital murder. That means you did the most of the most. It's the capital. It's the top. You did the most of the most, right? Besides a murder for hire, I still believe murder for hire is the highest. But capital murder and murder for hire, they kind of run neck and neck. You know what I'm saying? So he in that same ballpark, right? And with that being said, he is in, what is it, Texas? I'm pretty sure Texas has the death penalty. That's why they charge him with capital murder. And with that being said, that means he gonna be on death row for like the next 10 to 20 years before they go ahead and execute him. Some people you just got to put down in life. You know what I'm saying? Some people you can't just lock them up forever and just think that's it. Some people you got to put them down. You know what I'm saying? And he one of them type of people. You just got to put him down. It's sad to say, but this is prison for you. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to end up in a cell with a guy like this that can't stay out of jail, he done been let out multiple times. It ain't like he just got the rest of his life in prison and he didn't get a chance. He got multiple times. And he keep coming back. So if you don't want to end up in a cell with a guy like this, listen to me. Pay your bills, go to work, make you some money, become your own business owner, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And live your life and take care of your kids. Because other than that, you might end up in the cell with a guy like this. And this guy might end up on top of you, taking your life from you because he don't care about his own. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.